This is one of those topics that we kind of all know on one level, whatever perspective we come at it from, that this exists, that there's a reality in cause and effect, that things that we put out there return to us, even if we don't get it back from the same place that we gave it. And when I say gave, you know, that is give in terms of anything, whether it be something desirable or definitely not. We don't very often get it in a really specific form, and I have, and in a way it's meaningless, and in another way it feels to me to be quite profound. As some of you will know, my mother died something over a year ago, and as an only child everything fell to me. I both had all the work to do with her estate, and also was the person that got everything to distribute or whatever with. Now, all my life, and I'm not quite sure why this is, I mean, my parents were generous in their own way, but they didn't take it on the way I seemed to feel the need to. I have always loved to give gifts to the people I care about, and it's not about value in any sense of the word, but because I've made a lot of things, and for me it's about the thought and the care and the love that goes into the gift, that it will be something that the other person, the receiver, is going to actually like. You know, sometimes a lot of people seem to buy gifts for others that they want themselves, and so, you know, there's a sort of sense of almost embarrassment from the other. But anyway, you know, sort of, oh, I wonder why you got me this. So all the gifts that I gave my mother over the years, and for which, I mean, she's constantly commenting on how good she thought I was at doing this. As I said, she was very generous, but it was different. I got them all back, every last one of them, and I never for a moment thought that that would happen. I don't know why. I mean, it's obvious when you think about it, but when I gave her all those gifts, I never imagined that they would be returned to me, which of course they now have been. And it's kind of weird. It's quite nice, because these gifts, which I chose for her, and which I liked as well, because I think it's very difficult to buy something that you don't like. Now I have added to them the sense of her having them. You know, like they were in her house, and so they're something that I gave come back to me with something extra added to them. And it just seemed to me quite a nice example of how these things can work, a rather more physical example than we often get, because quite often the giving is not of things, it's of attitude or care, or the opposite of, or, you know, it can be all sorts of things: neglect, hatred, doing harm, and, you know, all sorts. It doesn't have to have, you know, the colour is what returns, in a way, whatever flavour, sense that comes out, it kind of almost invariably does come back. Though sometimes, and I've noticed this, it comes back in a very different form, or from a very different direction, a seemingly entirely unrelated section. It's almost like a chemical equation. Anyway, I thought that that was worth sharing, that now I have dotted around my house various things that are mine but not mine, that I bought but not for me. Very strange.